We can talk about that right now. So you started a label. Tell us about the drive and the insanity that you bought into. The dumb idea of starting your own company that just burned your own wallet.
Right. Right.
We're talking about revoltvinylrecords.com is what we're talking about.
That's right.
Tell us all about it.
It was something I'd wanted to do for a long time. You know, I'm a huge lover of physical media and the tangible side of rock and roll, the stuff you can hold in your hand, the stuff you can put on your wall. You know, I think that's such an important part of music culture. And it came from a couple different places. One, no labels would sign my own band. You know, no one would even like sniff us. So it was like, well, you know, I'm either going to have to start my own thing. And initially it was just a vanity label, you know, like Motley had Leather Records or Guns N' Roses did the Uzi Suicide. I mean, tons of bands had those little self labels. So initially it was just that, something to put on the record.
Probably for the same reason. There was a lot of DIY going on.
Right.
For the biggest bands.
Right.
It didn't have to be like, well, we don't have any money, so let's make some phone calls and get in good with these guys that are, you know, releasing their friends' demos and you know, like a Megaforce. That's how Megaforce. It was like tape trading, fanzine. Yeah. I mean, Johnny Z and his wife Marsha, they just like took it to a whole new level, the whole DIY. And next thing you know, the majors wanted to buy out his product and his contracts.
Right.
Now, that's amazing because he had, you know, the bands that we all know and love that he helped get a foot in the door as far as that goes. Right. Probably not going to happen. Never say never for Revolt Vinyl, but the tenacity and the tenacity and the really grandiose bad idea of doing this is do it while you're young and dumb.
Right. I think it's a great idea.
I love the idea because I mean, we're friends. We know you, so I think it's a great idea for someone like you who's got the energy to do that, and that's really what it takes.
Yeah, it does take a certain motor for sure. You know, you gotta.
Well, how long do you think you can stand living around cardboard boxes?
Well, ask my girlfriend about that. It's her living room that they're in. And yeah, I do need.
How often do you apologize for that?
Every day on the hour.
No, that's good. That's smart.
And then 3 Dangerous Toys boxes showed up on the porch, and she was like, "Well, you got more stuff coming?"
Yeah.
I said, yeah. I'm the merch girl. I gotta count all this stuff in.
Well, I know
I appreciate you taking that on, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to something you said earlier, you're such a fan of the physical media and the merch, and it shows, man. I mean, everything that you put out, you sent me a box of stuff and it was like Christmas. And you know, there's like no expense spared. So to Jason's point, I'm sure you put a lot of money into this. But from a fan's perspective, and knowing you like I do, you wouldn't have it any other way. So it's like Revolt Records are bust, but we're not going to put out a crappy product, you know?
Amen to that. So let me, do you mind? I mean, I should preface this. Do you mind if I ask you some questions that involve points? I'm talking dollars.
Oh, yeah.
What is the average price, your cost per Revolt vinyl release? Like
per unit?
Yeah, per unit. And we're talking about all of the goodies, the printing, everything to make one let's just say vinyl record, not a CD, because that's fairly inexpensive to make, but one vinyl record, gatefold, because you go all the fuck out. You go crazy on that.
Yeah.
Posters and dirty panties and stickers and lick-on tattoos, and you'd put it all in the fucking box.
Yeah.
What does that cost you per unit?
And I do run those numbers before I start a project. You know, I lay all that out.
Because you want to know how crazy you're going to be.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it depends on the release. Like with the Broken Teeth record, I think those cost me about $17 a record, and then you're selling them for 25.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's the profit margin there. The Leather Duchess records, and of course, the more you press, the more the cost per unit goes down, as with anything. We did 500 of the Fatal Moon vinyl, and so those per unit were about 18 a record, and we're selling them for 30. So 40% markup, give or take there.
So when you think about, let's say that, you know, another label is doing the same thing, take you out of the equation, and maybe they don't have the startup cash to press 500 of their vinyl, and they decide to go down to 100, or let's say 200 in your, with your wallet. What are they, I'm not asking you to break out a calculator, but you're looking at like $20 per unit.
Oh, easily. If you're just pressing 100, you're going to break even if you sell all 100.
Right.
It's basically, you'll get your money back if you sell all of them.
So I'm not trying to spread this information out there to the world so people will just, you know, go back to college to not play rock and roll, you know.
Right.
I'm trying to, you know, in other words, do the right thing, doctor, lawyer, you know, businessman of a different, you know. I think that it's the dedication that I'm trying to underline here, which is what I started with.
Right.
Yeah.
You're as crazy as a fucking fox to want to, when you think about what it is you're about to embark upon.
Right. Yeah.
And then the way that you market, just to put that in a nut, market or sell this. Okay, I got 500 records. How the fuck am I going to sell these? What's your next? What do you do then? Pre-sale?
Yeah. I mean, if you can take pre-orders, and obviously, like a band like Broken Teeth that's got a little momentum already, and it's already a bit of a name, that's easier to pre-sale. A new band that no one's ever heard of, you got to get it in front of them. But I've found it's like, I mean, the reason I sent Dave that, you know, giant box, that I found if you can get it in front of people, if you can get people to open that gatefold and go, holy shit, this is cool.
Well,
then they're on,
it's exactly what everyone is doing when they open up your record. It's like, holy Christ, what the hell, you know, who are these girls?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you want.
And the thing is, I mean, let's just talk about the Leather Duchess record. This is Fatal Moon. You've got another one called Gunslinger. But this thing, when I opened it, it was like it had more goodies than Kiss Alive 2. I mean, the artwork is fantastic, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But to Jason's point, the gatefold, I mean, what independent band is doing this? And then you open it up, and there is like, what is this, a 25-page full-color booklet with, you know, all these great photos, all this information about the band, about the album itself. I mean, it came with stickers. There's a patch in here. I've got a magnet on my refrigerator back there. It was just crazy. And I was thinking to myself, I haven't seen a record like this since, you know, with all this kind of packaging since like Kiss in the 70s. And I dare say this outguns that. So, I mean, I love the fact that you, you know, put so much effort, money, thought. It just goes to show you really are a fan of rock and roll. And if you go broke doing this, you left a nice full color glossy mark. And that's the point, right? That's
what I told myself. I said, at least, you know, if I go belly up, I'll have that record on the shelf and I can say I did it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that love you're talking about, that's where it comes from. I mean, Kiss was a huge inspiration for that. I mean, they were the kings of merchandising and just having cool shit. You know, yeah, I buy all these, and there's a lot of labels out there that are doing good stuff. I buy these box sets from these bands. I bought the Venom box set that came with a book like that. A couple companies in Europe, Dying Victim Productions is another one that really goes all out, even for the smaller bands. I have the Celtic Frost
box.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
this thick.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It's,
then,
it's
you
huge.
mentioned the Broken Teeth record earlier, which was amazing. Also, Guilty Pleasure album.
Yes, sir. Love that album.
The cover looks good. It's on red vinyl. It came with 3 autographed 8x10 promo photos. There was a sticker in here. I mean, dude, who wouldn't want this? It's amazing. I love it.